It's Friday. You've made it through to the end of the working week. Well done. And welcome to day 5 of the Morning Yoga Habit Challenge. So in this morning session, we're going to be focused on Friday flexibility. Great ring to it. And in this class, it's going to be a nice, gentle, energizing practice to help you start to build a little heat and mobility and movement in those muscles, starting to work on building your flexibility in the lower body. So just a quick reminder, there's a Saturday sunrise flow taking place tomorrow live at 8:30 a.m. and I'm going to be broadcasting this live on YouTube as well as on Zoom for those that are in the membership. And this is a slightly longer practice with 30 minutes where we'll be doing a lovely gentle flow together and coming together as a community to start our weekend off the right way. I really hope to see you there. We're going to get started in a comfortable seated position of your choice, just for a couple of quick breaths before we dive on in. So taking a couple of shoulder rolls just to ease off, closing down the eyes. Allow the hands to rest in the lap. Take some deep belly breaths and just allow yourself to arrive on your mat this fine Friday morning. One more deep breath. See if you can really take the inhale a bit deeper and exhale completely. So take it to the very end of the breath. And gently blinking those eyes open, we're going to go straight in with our physical movement practice today. So rolling onto all fours, you'll roll through a few cat-cows just to start to loosen up through the spine. If you'd like to integrate the breath, you're going to inhale into your cow pose, exhale into your cat pose. So playing with your breath and movement together. Everything's interconnected, so this is a great couple of moves to start to get the body really nice and warmed up. Option to tuck the toes under in this. You can always have that little extra bonus of a stretch through the feet as we're working with our lower body flexibility. Beautiful. And then bringing the hands out in front. I'm going to sink the bum down to the ground and just peel ourselves down to the earth, pressing ourselves up and back. It's a really slow, deliberate movement, peeling from the very bottom of the thighs all the way up to the top, rolling yourself down and back up. And let's rest back in our child's pose. Option to bring the knees a little bit wider, coming into a wide-legged variation. And let's bring ourselves upright and see if we can press back with that left leg, so pressing the left heel away. So feeling a nice stretch through the calf, and then bringing the knee in towards the side. We're going to start to create some hip circles. So gentle hip circles here, just starting to warm up through these muscles, engage your core, changing direction. That core will really help your stability. Might hear some hip clicks going on, but it's all good. Releasing back down, pressing that right foot away, see if you can press through that right heel, just feeling a gentle stretch through the back of the leg. Pausing for a couple more seconds. And then creating some nice hip circles, one way, and then the other. Gently releasing down, bringing the fingertips forward by palm distance, tucking those toes under, pressing yourself up and back, finding yourself in your downward facing dog. So pressing that palm really towards the back of the room, not worrying about how straight or bent the legs are. We are working with our flexibility, but it is absolutely fine for those heels to be hovering off the earth, allowing the neck and shoulders to be relaxed, a slight tuck of the tummy. Beautiful. Let's inhale the left foot up and back, keeping the hips as square to the floor as you can. And then you're going to bend at the knee and see if you can open the hip out to the side, so bringing the left foot towards the right hip. Beautiful, just pausing there for a moment, seeing if you can engage through the core just to help your stability. Wonderful. And then what you're going to do is bring that left knee in between your hands, You can help it through as you need to. Lower the right knee down towards the earth. Brilliant. Inhaling the arms up to the sky. See if you can shunt those hips forward. Always the option to have the hands on the hips, by the way, if the arms up is not working for you today. And you're going to see if you can really engage through the right bum cheek to get a lovely stretch down the front of the right thigh. So when we're working with our flexibility, it's important to consider strength as well as stretch. And so where I'm guiding you to engage your muscles, it's to help you get a stronger sensation of stretch, but also to help build strength, which is important as muscles work in pairs. So we want to be kind of activating them accordingly. Exhaling the hands down. See if you can bring the left heel out in front. So you can be on fingertips here. If you did have bricks or blocks at home and wanted to use them just to bring the earth up a little bit, you're very welcome to. You can be quite passive in this stretch, or if you want to make it more active, which is what I'm going to recommend to really start working on that flexibility, you're going to press the left heel into the earth, bring those left toes towards the shins. Notice the difference. Can you feel the difference in that stretch? Suddenly it feels like a very active stretch versus a passive stretch. Holding here for a couple more breaths. Really seeing if you can press that heel into the floor, bring those toes towards the shins, and then rolling forward. See if you can bring the hands either side of that front foot. Tuck the back toes under, step the front foot to meet the back. We're coming up to find that downward facing dog once more. Pausing here, option to drop down and come to a child's pose if you want for a couple of breaths. We're going to pause and just think about our alignment, perhaps walking the dog here, so bringing one knee into the chest and bringing the opposite thigh down. If you're in child's pose, perhaps coming up to join us now. And then we'll all meet in our stable, still downward facing dog, pressing those hips towards the back of the room. Inhaling the right foot up and back. See if you can bring, so open, bend at the knee and open the hip out to the side, bringing the right heel towards the left bum cheek. Pausing here. And then seeing if you can bring the knee in between your hands, so crunching through and coming eventually to bring back knee down, left knee towards the earth, coming onto the hold of that front foot, bringing yourself up, seeing if you can bring the hips forward, inhale the arms up for extra challenge, softening through the shoulders as you engage through the arms, and thinking about engaging through that left bum cheek, getting that nice active stretch through that left thigh. Beautiful. Pressing through the whole of the front foot will really help with your stability, perhaps engaging through the core. Wonderful. Exhaling down, bringing the hands either side of that front foot. We're coming into our half splits on the opposite side. So see if you can wiggle perhaps that right heel a little bit further forward until you find a nice straightish leg. Doesn't have to be 100% straight. And then you're going to bring the toes towards the shins, press the heel into the earth, and notice that super active stretch. Notice the difference. Pausing here for a few more breaths, really engaging that heel into the earth. Wonderful. One more breath here. Really pressing, pressing, pressing. And then rolling forward, bringing those hands either side of that front foot, curling those back toes under, stepping up and back to your downward facing dog. And then we're going to walk the hands towards the feet, bring the feet a little bit wider and sink the bum down so you end up in your little yogi squat. So don't worry if your heels have come up and off the earth, fingertips on the earth for a little bit of support. And then what you're going to do is raise the bum up and back and come down. Different muscles being stretched and active as we start to go up and down. Using those fingertips to support you, engaging slightly through the core to support you with these moves. Next time you're in your forward fold, wiggling those toes so they're hip distance apart, and just allowing yourself to see if you can tuck that tummy in, really start to bring your chest right towards those legs. Seeing if you can imagine that your ribs are going up and over, press into the heels. Let's see if we can make the stretch nice and active. Noticing the difference. Ooh, you can definitely feel that active stretch. So much harder than very passive, where I've got very bent legs and no active muscles going on. Let's see if we can press it away. Beautiful. And then engaging through the core, pressing through the heels. Let's gently roll ourselves up. To find yourself in your mountain poses, you roll those shoulders back, bring the palms to face the front. Let's bring the hands to the hips and step the right foot forward, coming to find a high lunge, pressing away with that back heel. Option to bring the arms up if you like. Pausing for a couple of breaths, so really pressing away, nice kind of straight legs, but the heel is up and off the ground at this stage. Knees tracking above the ankle, feet are on train tracks for stability, engage that core. Bringing the hands back to the hips. Let's kick the back heel out to the side, keeping the hips so they're facing towards the front. Bend through that front knee. Inhale the arms up, warrior one pose. Lovely, really strong pose. Let's see if we can engage the leg muscles a little bit more, building our strength, pressing through the whole of the front foot, outer edge of the back foot. Notice the difference. Notice how that really switches the lower body on. And then bringing the hands back to the hips. What we're going to do is straighten off through that front leg, engage through the core, hinge from the hips as we come forward to find a flat back position, our pyramid pose, pressing through the whole of the front foot, outer edge of the back foot. Lovely. Really pressing away here. That's wonderful. Inhale to bring yourself back up. And let's step the back foot to meet the front. So we end up at the top of the mat. I'm going to change sides now. So let's step the right foot back. So pressing that right heel away. Let's breathe here. Seeing if we can just add perhaps a little arm movement in. If we'd like to add the challenge. Pressing into the whole of that front foot. Feet are on train tracks. Engage through the core to help stability. Bringing the hands down to the hips, or keep them where they are for extra challenge. Kicking the heel out to the side. Let's find our warrior one on this side. Inhale the arms up, press through the whole of the left foot at the front, outer edge of that right foot. Really feeling the difference as you engage through the legs. Building that strength in the lower body. We need that strength to support our flexibility. We build both in tandem. We don't want to be floppy. We want to keep everything nice and active, and it can really help enhance your flexibility as you work on your strength. Exhale the hands down to your hips. Straighten off through that front leg. Engage through the tummy. Hinge forward. Finding yourself in a flat back position as we find our pyramid pose on the opposite side, pressing through the whole of the front foot, outer edge of the back foot, really engaging through those lower body legs. Feet are firmly pressing into the air. One more breath here. You're doing so well. And then using that core to support you to gently come upright. I'm going to bring the back foot to meet the front. Inhale the arms up and exhale over into gentle forward fold. Let's finish off by just taking a few movements here, free movements. You can wiggle from side to side, perhaps have a little nod and shake of the head. See if you can release anything through the body. And let's give a little tap to ourselves just to wake ourselves up. So starting with the feet, working up the lower body, inside, back to the legs. Just really focus on that lower body before we bring ourselves up, working on the tummy, back, all the way around. Anywhere that feels like it needs a little massage, let's go for a tiny little one around the face. Itsy bitsy little massage. And let's inhale the arms up. Exhale the hands to heart center. And just bow the head to the hands and just thank yourself for stepping on your mat this morning. Day 5 of the Morning Yoga Habit Challenge. You've absolutely smashed it. And I can't wait to see you back on the mat here tomorrow.